Focused yoga conditioning class. It's going to be not too long, but do as many repetitions as you like to do. You can pause that and do as many repetitions as you like to do. So for this class, what you need a blanket. Ideally, if you have the non-carpet floor, if it's not an option for you, might be having a sliding disc or something, so to use instead of the blanket on the floor or on the carpet. Other than that, you need a mat and that thing. That is really working a lot on this. So the whole focus will be a lot on our arms. Obviously, that will involves our core. And also we do a bit of work on our hamstrings, strengthening hamstrings, a bit involves glutes as well. So again, we'll see how it goes, and you can do more repetitions that you want, pausing the video and do that. Okay, so we'll start that. So we'll start in a simple stretch for a moment. So bring your blanket just in front, it's about that width, just in front of you, just attaching to the mat, and bring your hands close to the edge. So come in with hands and knees, so wrists underneath shoulders, knees underneath your hips, and just starting with a bit of a stretch at the side of the body. So bring your right hand onto the blanket, start to bring it forward and diagonal to the left side, and again start to lower your left elbow down and just lowering your head towards your right hand or arm. Just feeling a nice stretch on the right side of your body. Coming back to center, bring your arm to center and down. The other side, left hand down, bring it forward, diagonal to the side, lowering your right elbow, and again stretching into the left side of your body. Coming back to center, we'll do one more time on each side. Right hand onto the floor or onto the blanket, to the side, and again lowering your ribs, right side of the ribs towards the mat, your head onto the right hand if that's available, bending your left elbow, and back to center, and last time the other side. Just starting with a nice stretch of your side body. And here you go. And coming back to center. So in this practice, we also be including a lot of pulling, which we don't normally have in yoga practice, traditional yoga practices. So there will be a lot of pulling, arm pulling activities. So coming up now into your forearm, you can collapse your hands here, bring your knees underneath your shoulders, and from here you can tuck your toes under. We start to slide it forward with your arm. The only thing before we start, I like to have my elbows slightly wider than your shoulders. I find it's more accessible, but whatever it works for your body. And start to bringing your elbows away from you, and to whatever your range of motion for your shoulders. If you can, you release your hand in between your arms and maybe forehead on the mat. And when you reach the range of your motion, you maybe want to bring your fingers up towards the ceiling, hands together. So the thumbs goes towards your neck. So this is a nice stretch of your triceps. Again, releasing, straightening your hands. And now from here, lifting your head, and we start to bring your elbows into the starting position, but trying not to move your hips. So from here, starting really hips in line where they were, start to bring your elbows in the starting position. We'll do that again. So start to move your arms forward, head in between your hands, relax here, lift your arms up, so fingers up towards the ceiling, thumbs towards your neck. Re-straighten your arms, and again start to bring your elbows in a starting position, really working. Obviously there is a core involvement there as well. Do not move your hips or your sit bones to hips from side to side. Just leave it stable where it is. One more time. Start to straightening it. Good. Again, bending your elbows. Re-straighten your arms and lifting your head. Start to bring your elbows back into a straight position. Well done. Coming up now to hands and knees, and just a bit of a shrugging, rolling your shoulders. Now, just to have a bit of a break from your arms. Coming up, I'm going to face you now. Coming up, so you're sitting with your feet wider than your hips, and bring your hands behind you. Keep lengthening your spine. What we're going to do, bring your knees all the way to the side. Ideally, if your knees can touch the floor. If it's not, whatever it is for you, your range of motion. And back to center and the other side. And back to center, one side again. Back to center and the other side. You want a little bit more of movement here. Coming back to center, bring your arms forward. So only working from your hips. So there's no support from your hands, just more work for your hips. And again, bring your knees to one side, back to center, and another side. Knees nearly touching the floor, back to center, one more time to the other side, and this time bring your left arm behind you, and then start to bring your other arm forward. So again, to spinal twist, reaching with your arm forward. Coming back to center, arms forward, and the same on the other side. Arm behind, hand behind you, and again, reaching forward into spinal twist. And back to center. And releasing down. Coming up now once again onto your hands and knees. And this time what we did before with the pulling, we're going to do pulling with your hands into full plank position. Okay, with your straight arms. Now, first of all, again, keeping your hips stable where they are. Again, that really involves your core engagement here. So from here, pressing firmly into your hands, you can tuck your toes under and find them easier. But whatever it works for you, and we'll go just a little bit, few inches forward, just for you to taste what that feels for you, that pulling motion. Because the further away from your mat you go with the blanket, the stronger pulling effect you have when you have to go back. You know probably what I mean. Now start to come out halfway maybe, and then from here, keep engaging your core, keeping your hips stable. Start to pull your hands back to starting position. Okay, so we'll move now. So again, move as far as you feel comfortable going, maybe going all the way down so that your head is in between your arms. And now coming back, feel strong arm pressing into the mat, bringing your hands back to center. No movements from your hips. A few more times. Straighten up wherever your arm motion is or range of motion. And again, coming back. Keep it with control. Pressing into your hands into the floor or into the blanket. And again, forward. And coming up. And we'll do one more time. Forward. Again, whatever you are, you may want to ease a bit, that's okay. And back. Good. Now getting out of your hands, letting your hands rest a bit, bring your right foot on the blanket. Left foot tucked under, or toes tucked under. And here lengthening your arms up again, engaging your core, so your rib cage is not throwing forward. Nice engagement here, elongating your spine, decompressing your spine. One full breath here, and then bringing back hands together. Leave your hands where they are. And now from here, we start to bring your sit bones towards the back heel, sitting onto the back heel and straightening your front knee. At the same time, lifting your toes up towards the ceiling. It's a nice stretch, and also your quad's gonna work and your hamstring is gonna stretch here. And then at the same time, you bring your arms forward. So you can watch me first. Start to bring your sit bone back towards the back of your knee, of your heel, and lift it up. Feeling a nice stretch, bringing your toes up towards the ceiling and coming back. Keeping again that stability here, your core is engaged, your hips are stable. And again, moving with your breath if you want to, straighten up. Exhale, inhaling, coming back. Exhaling, straighten your legs, sitting on your back heel and coming forward. And do one more time. Get feeling that stretch in the back of your hamstring and coming back. Good. Bring your arms behind your neck. really pressing your hands into your neck, letting your head rest into your hands. And from here now, just lifting your chest up and slightly starting to back bending, but not from your lower back, but rather from the upper or mid back. Really lifting up so your chest lifts up towards the ceiling. Opening up here. Keeping again, this is engagement here, so you're not sinking into the lower back. And slowly release your hands down and bring your feet or knees down underneath. So we'll do one more time, pulling the same what we did before we go on the other side of this leg. Okay, so again, tabletop position, nice engagement of your core here. And then slowly start to push again. You know your range of motion now, where you can go as far as you can go. Go it all the way down wherever you can. And then slowly start to bring your hands back to starting position. I start to shake a bit now. And again, we'll do 5 times in total. If you want to do more, pause the video and do that. And back to center. And this is a nice way because we don't do much pulling. No, don't do pulling at all in yoga, in traditional yoga practice. And come back and do 2 more times. Bring it forward, keep it control, and coming back. Now you feel like you're losing that, you can go a little bit less into that range of motion. Maybe go as far as this, and whatever you are, you know your body. Bring it back to center. Good. And again, coming up, bring your left foot onto the blanket. Tuck the back toes under. Elongating your spine, lifting up, engaging your core so you're not lengthening your tailbone. Then bring your hands back to center and start to bring your hips down, sitting onto the right heel, straightening your front leg, arms forward, toes up towards the ceiling. Nice, navel goes in towards the spine and coming back in a starting position. And again, forward, or not forward, backwards. And your starting position. And again, straightening your front legs, sitting back, and forward. And last time, straightening it up. And coming back. Stay here. Once again, bring your arms behind you. This time you can interlace your fingers so that another pinky on the top, you know what I mean, like interlacing it the other way, uncomfortable way, I'd rather say. And again, keeping that nice engagement here in the middle. Start to lift your chest, resting your head here. Start to lift from your chest, finding that nice back bend, the middle or the upper body back bend. Opening up your arms to the sides. Few breaths here. And slowly release your hands down and back to hands and knees. Now we're going to switch position. So we're going to bring your blanket slightly away so that your feet are on the blanket now and your knees on the mat, and you are coming your hands on the mat, not on the mat, sorry, knees on your floor. And coming up into forearm position, hands together. Now tuck your toes under, your feet about a hip distance apart. Now lift, now we start to engage your core again. It's a lot of movement from the core. So lifting up your knees a little bit, just hover above. Hold it. And then slowly with the very low hips, start to straighten up your legs. Good. And now from here, we're going to slide our legs back into dolphin position. So start to lift it up, coming all the way to the front into dolphin. And then slowly straightening up back into forearm plank. And now from here, we're going to come into side forearm plank, turning your toes to the side and coming up. Now you can use your fingertips to support yourself. Keep lifting your lower hip, or you can come up into full. And releasing down on the other side. And again, you can find support with the other hand, lifting up your hip. And that's okay, you can lift your arm up towards the ceiling. That's just an option, whatever you are. And slowly back to center. From here, coming up into full arm plank. And now again, into side angle or into side plank. Rolling onto the other side again, lifting arms up, that's an option. Now if you find a not stable because it's really hard with a blanket, you can bring your foot forward. Otherwise stay where you are, back to center and the other side. And back to center. From here, lowering your knees, so hovering above as we started, and bringing your feet or your knees where we start in the starting position. Relaxing here, coming up, sitting on the mat. Straightening up your legs. So again, the heels are on the blanket. Bending your knees, sorry, first of all, bending your knees, but your feet are on the blanket. Lifting up your knees. You can slightly support yourself here. And very simple here, straightening up your legs and coming with your heels towards the starting position. Just very simple again, start to fire up a bit of your hamstrings here. And a few more times. Giving a rest, your arms to rest a bit. 2 more times, just straight up and back. And last time, straight legs and back. Good. Coming back onto your arms again. We'll do the same sequence, the same beautiful sequence. So your knees on the floor in between your blanket and the mat. Toes hip this or feet about a hip distance apart. Lowering onto forearm arms or forearm plank arms. And lifting your knees above a little bit and starting to straighten up. Lower your hips up low. And now from here, rolling your feet, coming up first of all into dolphin, bringing your feet closer into dolphin. And again, start to straighten up in the forearm plank. And now from here, rolling your feet to the side, coming up into side plank. You can bring your toes up or stacking onto each other. That's absolutely just an add-on. Back to center and the other side. And lift it up. If that's okay, it's an add-on. And coming back to center. Coming up into full plank. Again, rolling your feet to the side. You can stack your toes onto each other. Lifting your arm. Keep lifting the bottom hip so it's not sinking down. Bring your hands down and the other side. You can, again, feet together or separate, whichever you prefer. And again, arms down, lowering your knees, so hover above, and slide it back to starting position. Whew, good. Release it down. Once again, coming up now, sitting onto your mat. Now, this time we're going to lower down all the way on the bags, but keeping your feet on the blanket. So we're going to do it in a few levels. So from here, with your knees bended, arms by your side, like you are preparing for a bridge pose. Go a little bit closer so your knees are a little bit more bended. Okay, and now from here, we start to straighten up your legs, heels on the heels, toes up, straightening up your legs, and then bring it back to center. That's level 1. That's completely fine if you continue doing that. Level 2, lift your hips up, toes up. We start to lower, slowly start to lowering down, or not lowering down, straightening up your legs. When your legs are straight, you can lower slowly your hips down. And then lifting your hips up, and then start to bringing your feet back to where we started with the heel on your heels, so your toes up. Good, and then release it down. Level 3, lifting your arms up. So less support from your arms, lifting your hips, lifting your toes, and slowly start to straightening up your legs. Straighten your legs, don't put your, keeping your hips up. And when you straighten your legs, don't bring your hips down. And now from here, bring back again your feet where they were at the start. And now there are 3 levels, whichever you prefer, continue doing. I'm going to lower on the second one. So again, start just straightening up the legs. And whatever you are, either releasing your hips down, and then lifting up, bending it forward. Where we start to feel the hamstrings firing up. And one more time, I'm going to do in a version 3, slowly with control, straightening up your legs, keeping hips up, and bending down. Keeping engaging. Bring your hands down, lowering your hips down. For one time, just bring your knees in, hug them in, and gently rock from side to side. Just in the middle to release your lower back. Good. Feet back down on the mat, rolling onto the side and coming up once again into that forearm or plank sequence. If that's enough for you, that's completely fine. You can skip that. We'll do one more time, exactly the same. Hands onto your forearms. You can clasp your fingers or your palms, sorry. Tuck your toes under, hip distance apart. Lift your knees above a little bit and start to, with the lower hip, or your hips lower, straightening up your legs. Coming up into dove. Back to forearm plank. Turning your toes to the side and coming up into side plank. Forearm. Again, you can stack your feet together. You can lift your arms up, but keep lifting your hips. Releasing down on the other side. And release it down. Coming up into plank, full plank. The same, coming up, lifting up. As I said, you can always support with your upper leg. Back to center. And the other side. And back to center. Lowering up your knees, just a bit hovering, and start to pull your knee towards your body. Release. Well done. And one more time with the bridge. You know your levels, so do straight away where you want to go. I'm going to choose the middle one. Or I'm going to go all through all 3 levels. And we'll do 5 times like that, okay? Arms by your side, whatever you are again. Arms by your side, knees are bended. Lifting your toes. Slowly start to straightening up your leg with your toes up towards the ceiling. With the control, and then slowly bending your knees, bringing your feet back to starting position. Coming up into level 2, lifting your hips in full bridge with the toes up towards the ceiling. And then start to slide your legs, straightening up your legs. When your legs are straight, slowly lowering your hips down. And again, lifting your hips up and bending your knees, bringing your feet back to center. And releasing your hips down. Preparing for the last one. Lifting arms up. Lifting hips up. Toes up. Slowly start to straightening up your legs. Keep lifting your hips up from the floor. And again, bending your knees, pulling your feet back towards your body. Releasing your hands, releasing your hips. Do 2 more times, your own version, whichever you want. Slowly start to straighten from wherever you are. And again, slowly with the control, bringing your feet back to center. One more last time, straightening up your legs. And then slowly with the control, start to bring your feet back to center. And lower your hips, whatever you are, and bring your knees in towards your chest. And really gently start to just circles. Start with the smaller circles. Do a bit bigger circles. And then changing direction. And for the last time, bring your knees into chest. Hug yourself in. Bring your nose towards your heels or head towards your knees. Or heels towards your knees. And relax down. Bend, or you're crossing your shins, arms behind your knees. And just a few times rocking up and down. Up and down. And coming up into seated position, cross-legged seated position. Just for the last one, a bit of a twist of your spinal twist. So bring your right hand behind you And left hand onto your right knee, lengthen your spine, inhaling here. And on exhaling, gently start to twist towards the right side. Again, let your head be the last one to turn. Stay here for a few breaths. There's no pulling or anything. Let it be gentle, just organic twist of your spine. Back to center. Left hand behind you, lengthen your spine, right hand onto the left knee. Inhaling here, and exhaling, twisting, looking over the left shoulder. And still keeping your core somewhat engaged so you're not collapsing, keeping that nice and upright spine. If you feel you're rounding, bring your hand further away from your body so that allows to keep that nice and long spine. And back to center. And just again, moving the way you want to. Thank you for practicing with me. Hope you had a good workout. It's not a typical yoga class. It's more yoga conditioning, the way I see it, just building up that strength in your arms, that pulling that we never get it, and also it's a good way for yogis to have a good, strong hamstrings. And yeah, so I hope you enjoy that.